So I am delighted to be here this morning. I run a venture capital firm that's one of the largest in the world. We have 33 of the largest industrial companies, from Volkswagen and Audi and Eon in Europe to China Light and Power, Origin in Australia, and Hitachi, Chubu, Tokyo Gas in Japan, and every one of them wants us to help them decarbonize without losing their shirt, because that is what every firm in the world is trying to do. Now, David asked me to come here today and said, good God, the elections, you've got to lift up the crowd. And here's what I wanted to say. Folks, you've seen some of these headlines here. You know, Trump doesn't like EVs and solar, and we're all going to go backward. All is lost. Folks, get a grip. Nothing's changing. The guy was president before and almost doubled renewable production over the Obama years. You may not have known that. They're continuing to go up, and they're going to continue to go up for the rest of our lives. But here's what I want you to take a look at. We are faced right now, today. By the way, some of you are taking pictures. Take all the pictures you want, and if you want, give me your card, and I'll send you the whole darn deck. Everything we're doing here is public, and I'll get it all to you, but shoot away. The existential challenge of our time is we are literally going to be doubling the amount of power that's needed. No one foresaw this even 5 or 6 years ago. What's driving this? The enormous demand for data centers, driven by AI, simultaneously hitting with the enormous growth in electric vehicles and transportation. So your average utility CEO is being asked, how do you double power and get greener at the same time? That is what our firm and the rest of the world is here to answer. Take a look at this. There is some extraordinary good news here. The future is going renewable, not because we're Californians or we're green. Folks, I have yet to meet a radical leftist utility executive. They are following the cost curve. When I worked at the Department of Energy in the Office of Conservation and Solar in 1980, cost to build 1 watt of solar, $78. No one was buying. Or at 60, or 50, or 40. When it hit about $3, things started to happen. What does it cost to install a watt of solar today? Guesses? Come on, this is participatory. 10 to 20 cents. That's hard for anything, including natural gas. Now, I want you to see. You see the cost curve down for wind and solar. A lot of people say, we got to have more nuclear. I'm all in favor of nuclear. Cost curve is going up. The free markets work. This has to be fixed before you see a lot of nuclear. Natural gas, the transition fuel. Well, costs are kind of fixed there too. Take a look. When you ask most people, of all of the power put online nationwide last year, how much of that new power is renewable? Most people say 10%. Here's the answer, 90%. Utility heads are following the cost curve. The grinding wheels of free market are working. This is great news for everybody on the planet. But take a deeper look. Natural gas, everybody's saying natural gas is going to save us. Folks, this is for a 9-year period. We're not cherry picking anything. Percent of natural gas put on, gone down. Wind, cost curve flattening a little bit, but it's storage and solar that are changing everything. We may see a little more natural gas this year just because the demand from data centers is going up, but there is no turning back these cost curves. Now, a lot of people say, oh my God, but what about China? You know, okay, maybe the US is doing the right thing, but China, what are we going to do about that? Folks, China put more solar and wind on last year than the entire rest of the world times 2. They got the message early. It's a different message than Mr. Trump is hearing from the good folks in Houston. The message is, if you own solar production, wind production, battery production, and EVs, your economy may dominate. We, especially we in California who invented each one of these industries, needs to take note and lead. Take a look at this. It's absolutely true, and I've left one key piece out of the discussion. Renewables are great, they're cheaper, they're better for the planet, but you still need baseload power. And until the cost of batteries went down, your only choice really was nuclear, coal, or natural gas. Look at this column on the left. I was serving on the board at Tesla then. Extraordinary roller coaster, I might add. But you made great EVs, but they were originally playthings for the rich at $100,000 a throw. The cost curve's gone down 85%. More importantly, Goldman Sachs and others say it's going to go down another 50%. Folks, we are living in an age where batteries are becoming a key part of the global energy mix, and they're revolutionizing the auto industry. There is no turning back this cost curve, and it is continuing to go down 20% last year alone. This is the future. I want to pause here, and they talked about this in the last panel. What's different with electricity is you don't just stack it up like barrels of oil and it's there whenever you need it. The price curves go up and down like this, and you don't want to have to build out capacity that's just sitting there unused most of the time. You just want to make sure you can handle the peaks. There is this thing called virtual power plants that will be the part of the future. One of the things I want to leave you with, you may not have heard before, folks, it's easy to manufacture electrons, and the cost is going down. It's not about manufacturing the electrons, it's about managing them so you have them where you want, when you want, every day. It was pure fantasy 5 years ago to tell a utility executive, don't worry about it, we'll just have power plants appear out of the blue to solve all your problems when there are those days of peak load power. It sounds like fantasy. In fact, it happened already. And where do things happen first? In California, producing 100 megawatts a day in July, year before last. And we have tripled capacity before. The punchline is rising power demand combined with falling battery prices, more EVs. This is a golden age of VPPs, and it's happening globally. This is the answer. I'm going to ask you a trivia question. I want to see who's really on the dime here. And I'm going to switch over to mobility. We all know every year in this new world, more cars are sold every year. Why? Because there's a new middle class in India, in Mexico, in Indonesia, in Vietnam, and these people can buy $20,000 cars. So the car sales globally, about 75 to 80 million a year, is going like this every year. How long do you think it'll be before the majority of cars sold globally are no longer internal combustion? Anybody know? How long do we have to wait? 10 years, 5 years. I used to work at eBay, folks. Humor me. I wanted to get the auction. 5, 10, what else? How many years? Now. Take a look. Let me give you the facts. We had peak internal combustion engine sales 7 years ago. It's gone down every year for the last 7 years, and somehow a room full of energy experts has missed that. This is the best news ever for the planet, and if you look at the slope of curve, it's going down faster than ever. A lot of you have read articles saying EV sales are slowing down. Oh, terrible. Wait a minute. What part of slowing down do we see here? Please show me the year. And these are global numbers. Now, the other thing you hear is, well, we might sell some hybrids, but it's range anxiety. If you want to bet on hybrids, that's the black part of the line. All the growth is actually in all electrics, and the reason is battery prices are going down. And here's a tip, folks. Nobody in the legacy auto world has a real answer to an extraordinarily efficient $15,000 electric car from a firm like BYD, which is today the fastest growing auto company in the world. May not be great news for the US, but it is outstanding news for the planet. And what I want you to remember is, From the charts I've showed you on renewable energy and electric vehicles, we know exactly how to solve global warming. The only thing we don't know is how long we have to do it. Let me just flip to another slide or two. This issue of advanced mobility and autonomous vehicles is bigger than most people understand, and here's why. Virtually all the AV companies are going all electric. I was just asked on CNBC, Steve, why do we care about this autonomous vehicles thing? I mean, how many are there going to be out there? I have the numbers. 1.4 billion people do ride-hailing every year. That number is expected to double, and I'm here to tell you it's going to grow faster because when you take the driver out of the equation, costs come right down. The implications, amongst other things, people are buying fewer cars. These things tend to weigh 4,000 or 5,000 pounds. Everybody has one. The average car in the United States is used what % of the time? 4. It keeps going down, and that's wasted materials. If you look at a city, any city pretty much in the world, from an aerial view, you will see 20% is set aside from parking, street parking, or in buildings. If you can restore that for housing and other things, you have changed the world, reduced your carbon footprint. It changes everything. Waymo leading the way. If you're wondering how fast are they really growing, they went from 15,000 rides a month in October 2023, 150,000 rides in October 24, 10xing, and it's going faster than ever. By the way, this AI thing is not a quirk or a lethal thing. In Silicon Valley, we judge things. How fast can you go from 0 to 100 million users? In my day, we thought TV was kind of a big thing. 47 years. The internet, my God, that's a big thing. 4 years. ChatGPT, 100 million users in 2 months. This is changing everything. It's leading us into a new future. I want to stop here and just tell you a quick story. When I was a kid, my dad told me in the 1970s, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Folks, in the 1970s, that was great advice. Today, throw that one right out the window. If you are not actively changing your business plan, you're on the way to being obsoleted. Don't let that happen. I leave you with these two things. Just remember, where Washington has failed, California must lead. And lastly, there has never been a better time to be an entrepreneur. If you have a business plan, bring it to me now. We are changing the world, and it is all happening right here in California. Thank you.